I didn't mean to say it.
That's the part one keep replaying in my head. If I had just kept my mouth shut, if I had let the silence stretch 1 second longer, none of it would have happened. But I didn't. And one word changed everything. The exchange program. When humanity joined the interstellar Concord, we thought we were ready. We weren't. The Concord wasn't a single empire. It was a coalition of species, ancient, advanced, and deeply skeptical of newcomers. Earth had barely achieved faster-than-light travel when the Concord found us. Compared to them, we were toddlers holding fireworks. To ease tensions, the Concord proposed a cultural integration initiative, a student exchange. That's how I ended up at the Helion Interstellar Academy orbiting the gas giant Vera 9. My name is Lucas Hale, 17.
Human.
Supposed representative of Earth's adaptive diplomacy potential, which was a fancy way of saying, don't embarrass the species. The Academy was a marvel, a ring-shaped megastructure of glass and alloy, spinning slowly to simulate gravity. Its corridors were filled with beings I'd only seen in briefings, crystalline life forms humming in harmonic speech, towering reptilian scholars wrapped in gravity cloaks, and luminous, bioluminescent humanoids whose skin shimmered with internal constellations. And then there were the Aethri.
Tall.
Slender. Silver-blue skin with faint light patterns under the surface. Eyes too large by human standards, irises glowing faintly like distant stars. They were rumored to be emotionally reserved, logical, disciplined, almost incapable of impulsive expression. That rumor shattered the moment I met her. Her name was Saralith. 2, the quiet one. Saralith sat 3 rows ahead of me in advanced physics. She was always early, always precise, always still. While other students chatted or transmitted silent data pulses across wrist implants, she simply observed, watching everything with unreadable focus. The first time we were paired for lab work, I assumed she wouldn't speak much. I was wrong. Her voice was soft but layered, like 2 tones resonating together. She explained particle flux equations with effortless clarity, corrected my calculations without condescension, asked questions that made me rethink entire concepts. You process variables emotionally, she noted once. Is that bad? I asked. It is unpredictable. That almost sounded like admiration. Over the weeks, we became unofficial partners. Humans were considered chaotic but creative. Aethri were considered precise but rigid. Together, our lab scores were the highest in class. But outside academics, she kept her distance. She never joined communal meals, never stayed after simulations. If conversation drifted from science to personal matters, she deflected with elegant redirection. Still, sometimes I'd catch her looking at me, and when our eyes met, she would look away first. 3. The simulation incident. The Academy's combat ethics module was mandatory for all species. The Concord believed understanding conflict was necessary to prevent it. Students were grouped into mixed species teams and placed into immersive simulations, diplomatic crises, rescue operations, tactical engagements. Saralith and I were assigned as co-leads for a planetary evacuation scenario. Meteor impacts. Failing infrastructure. Limited transport capacity. Most teams argued. We didn't. You prioritize civilians by proximity, she said. You prioritize by probability of survival, I countered.
She paused,
then nodded. A hybrid model increases efficiency. We moved like we'd practiced for years. When a simulated bridge collapsed, I rerouted transport drones while she stabilized energy shields with frightening precision. At one point, debris nearly crushed her avatar. Without thinking, I lunged, shielding her. The simulation froze. Unnecessary risk, she said once we exited. You were about to get flattened. My structural integrity was within tolerance. Still, she studied me. You react to protect without calculation.
Yeah.
That's kind of our thing. Silence lingered. Why? She asked. Why what? Why protect me? The answer felt obvious. Because you matter. Her luminous patterns flickered faintly, brighter, then dimmer. She looked away. The word. It happened in the observatory. Helion's upper ring housed a transparent dome overlooking Vera 9's swirling storms. Students gathered there to study astrophysics or simply watch lightning ripple across the gas giant's clouds. Saralith rarely went there. But that night, she was alone beneath the dome, light from the storm reflecting across her silver-blue skin. She looked different, less composed, more distant. I approached quietly. You avoid social clusters, I said gently. They are inefficient. That's not the real reason. She didn't respond. Lightning flashed. For a brief second, her luminous patterns flared, tracing delicate arcs along her arms and collarbone. And I forgot every carefully measured diplomatic instinct I had. You look beautiful, I said. The word slipped out before I could stop it. Silence. Absolute silence. Even the distant rumble of the storm felt muted. Saralith froze. Her luminous patterns flared violently, bright blue shifting toward violet. Her breathing changed. I began, heat flooding my face. I did mean it, but I didn't mean to. She turned her head away. Not sharply, not angrily, slowly, deliberately. She could not meet my eyes. Her voice, when it came, was barely audible. That term carries significant implication in Aethri culture. Yeah, I muttered. It does in ours too. She remained turned away. For an Aethri, she continued, to be called beautiful by a non-bonded individual suggests emotional designation. Bonded. Her patterns shifted again. Aethri partnerships are rare. Lifelong. Initiated only after mutual aesthetic recognition. My stomach dropped. You're telling me I just proposed? She didn't answer directly. Instead, she whispered, you should not use such words lightly. I stepped closer, cautiously. I wasn't being light. That made her inhale sharply. Her fingers curled slightly, as if restraining something. Humans express aesthetic appreciation casually, she said. Aethri do not. Then let me be clear, I replied. I think you're brilliant, and kind, and stronger than you pretend to be. She still wouldn't look at me, but the word I used, I swallowed. I meant it. Her luminous skin flushed faint violet. I cannot process this, she murmured. And she left. The distance. For 3 days, Saralith avoided me. In class, she answered instructors, but not me. In lab, she requested reassignment. Rumors spread quickly through a multi-species academy. Aethri students watched me with subtle scrutiny. One of them, taller, sharper features, approached me after lecture. You destabilize her equilibrium, he said flatly. That wasn't my intention. Intent is irrelevant. Emotional disruption affects cognitive precision. She's not a machine. He regarded me coolly. She is Aethri. That was the first time I realized how much pressure she lived under. The Aethri valued control above all. Emotion was not weakness, but it was private, sacred. And I had dragged it into the open with one reckless word. 6. The confrontation. The Academy announced an emergency simulation, reactor failure scenario requiring top-performing teams. Saralith and I were forced back together. The tension between us was tangible. Inside the simulation, alarms blared. Radiation levels spiked.